The Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I am your host for this evening, Miguel Colon Jr., and I am joined in virtual studio with my good friends and some amazing comedians. First off the rip, we got the godfather of Orlando comedy himself, Mr. Ken Miller. What it up, Mr. Ken?
What up, son? Live from the 215, baby. And I'm heavily armed like Brett Favre. Huh?
Oh, wow. Okay.
See the muscles, boy.
Yeah, 215. That's a Popka. That's APK.
Nah, that's Philadelphia.
That's Philly. Okay, I'm about to say when the APK.
Yeah, that was what's your boy that sing? It's party time. That was Tracy Lee.
Tracy Lee. Oh yeah, it's party time. Having a party. I love when I just heard that people from a Popka called the APK and
APK, bro. Don't talk about the APK because it's funny, man. I get a call from like somebody asking me something. Is it a poop? I'm like, a Popka, ma'am. Don't disrespect the city, yo.
Okay.
Man, they lost their bubblers. Hey, they ain't nothing left anymore.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, I do reckon that man talking about the loss of bubblers right there is our good friend, lawyer extreme, comedian, comic book author, Mr. Jeff Kaufman. Jeff, my father texted me when Bubbalooza Popka closed, and he goes, Bubbalooza Popka closed. It's directly related to Ken. Tell him give me my coin back.
Wow.
Yep. He said it's directly
Ken
related
to the restaurant, man.
Hey, man, I apologize 2 weeks ago. I took it back, man.
You won't. When you get put into the bankruptcy, you'll have to discuss that.
You should have heard the things he said about Del Taco in the 80s. You know?
Eastern Airlines, Del Taco, killed everybody.
Bro, ain't it a Del Taco in Castleberry? Is it still there?
Strong. There's places like Castleberry and Claremont hold on to things because Claremont's got a Fazoli's. And it's just holding out like it's a Confederate fortress, west of the Mississippi, just holding on. War still fought there.
Hey, the group in Glory can't take it down. Denzel group.
Give him out 55. What happened?
It's like that Crystals on in Sanford, man.
Yeah,
I look at that one good man because you remember Crystals when you're broke. That was Crystals because you eat like 50 pounds of meat for $12.
Too, right?
Well, here's the problem with Crystals though. Crystals has reached the price of a regular burger, and it is not giving you a regular burger. White Castle too. White Castle burger's 99 cents. I'm like, hold on, it's $1. They're like, yeah, and I'm like, it's not $1's worth of product anywhere.
90% of bread, 90% bread, 10% meat, man. That's
you throw them on a King's Hawaiian roll, and then we're talking. I'm like, okay, you change the product, but it's basically like a bathroom sliver cocaine line of meat.
You ain't
and
lying.
then an onion, a piece of an onion flaked on there, and bread.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Charge them $1. What fast food restaurant, boys? Well, we got Mr. James Yon over here. James Yon, host of the Lowdown. James Yon.
I love this. He's about to ask about fast food. He's like, let's introduce James now.
Yeah, it's me and James. The rest of you two can step away for a minute. Me and James talking about fast food restaurants would be like Bubba Gump talking about shrimp.
Talk about it, bro.
James, fast food restaurant. If you could resurrect with the powers of radio resurrection any fast food chain, and maybe it's not closed everywhere, but it's just not here anymore, or closed everywhere.
Two right now.
What's up,
bro? Bojangles.
All day, everybody's answer.
That chicken biscuit,
and then bow rounds,
paprika fries, man. Paprika fries.
We would be on a road trip. We would drive 2 hours out of our way so we can go get a chicken biscuit.
We have mapped trips. To where the Bojangles is, and then from there we set the destination.
and when he says Bojangles, he means in Florida because
because they're around in South Carolina.
Carolina. They started in North Carolina, so they deep in Carolina.
Anywhere that has 2 Jim Crow laws still on the books has a Bojangles.
I'm with you on that, James. I'm 100% with you. I would love it to be back.
They're getting closer. There's one in Gainesville, and they just opened up one in Ocala. It's getting closer.
Sanford getting one, you know that.
Yo, bro,
the old hanging tree.
Bro, they give you a free bag of Skittles when you go there, bro.
Skittles.
Bro, okay, my other one, you mentioned it before. The San Marino sandwich was delicious for Zoli's. I would love Zoli's to come back, bro.
There's one. Okay, so there's one in. They're all pretty much gone, but there's that one holdout, man. It's in Claremont.
It is. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You got it. Yeah, but they don't do those submarine sandwiches no more, dog.
They don't do the submarinos in the oven?
Nah, man. They do like some sandwich on a breadstick now, man.
No, that don't.
No,
that
don't count.
Yeah.
See, I go old school. I'm going a little deeper.
What's up, Jeff? What do you
got? There used to be this restaurant called Lum's, and they had the fried clams.
Yeah, I had to Google like restaurants that closed. Lums is one of the on the Lums is number 11. Miami-based Lums was known for its hot dogs, steamed in beer, but even a fast food, tasty, unhealthy, couldn't sustain the business. They do still have them in Vegas. They have one in Vegas.
That's not an appealing name though.
Lums used to have fried.
Why are you crying? My wife found some Lums. You know,
lie. Hold up, Jeff. How old are you? My bad. It closed in 1983.
What are you trying to say, man?
What I'm trying to say, you old Playboy.
Yeah. I'm gonna be going through the microfiche, and there's a picture of Jeff 1902, handlebar mustache.
Man, I don't get what's going on.
You look good, bro.
I don't understand microfiche. I'm looking through. There's Jeff. There's Jeff at the Hindenburg. He's been at every disaster. Wait a second.
There can be only one.
Closing. Yeah.
There can be only one.
Yo, Jeff has caused every national disaster. He knows who Amelia Earhart is. Where is she, Jeff?
Yeah, Cuba.
Hey, James, for me, I got two.
Okay, hit me with it.
This one is close to my childhood. I'm not a big fan of Mexican, but when I was a kid, I was Chi-Chi's Mexican
Chi-Chi's,
in elementary school, that was like every year they would take us to Chi-Chi's for like a school field trip. And my number two would be, it's crazy to say this, it was the first pizza I ever had, Godfather's Pizza.
Oh, that was good. Those were deep dish. That was Chicago.
Godfather's Pizza was the first.
Godfather's Pizza was good.
And it didn't take 90 minutes to get to your table like what was that, Giordano's?
Yeah. And I think they still got a few, Jeff, out there. Because what's the cat that ran for president? Herman Cain. He owned like Godfather's Pizza.
It's always weird
out there.
When you hear about something like that, when you're like Godfather Pizza, I know you're a millionaire because of it. But also, is that still the thing we're talking about? Yeah. That's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like, oh yeah, he was on an episode of My Two Dads.
Yeah,
you know.
I remember that Godfather's Pizza moved to Hess gas stations.
Oh yeah, because outside of Disney, I used to go to that one over there.
Yeah,
but see, it changed its quality when it moved to like a Hess gas station. It became like gas station pizza.
Absolutely.
I tell you one that I would bring back. I don't know if you guys remember Quincy's. I don't know if you guys had Quincy's.
Whoa,
them yeast rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, the Quincy's yeast roll was fire.
Now they got a Quincy's in South Carolina.
Holding out strong too.
Of course, bro.
Yeah. That was like that one Blockbuster who hung on.
Yeah.
She used to buy the videos. She used to buy DVDs at like Kmart.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
You know what it wasn't a great restaurant, but in the hood, it was where we would go. Sizzler.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to
Sizzler. Never ate at a Sizzler.
Oh, you never ate at a Sizzler? How is that possible?
You know which one? Baby. I don't know if this one was good, but when I was a kid, I thought it was good. Shoney's. Yeah. When I was a kid, I thought
Shoney's big boy.
Shoney's in Carolina. We still got Shoney's in Carolina.
Yeah.
Shoney's was like Denny's. It was a Denny's, man.
Yeah.
I remember. You remember
they had a buffet. The Shoney's in Carolina has a buffet. Yes.
You remember Po Folks?
Po Folks, we still got a Po Folks in North Carolina. Po Folks and Mrs. Winters are the two.
That's the name of it, like West Coast Po Folks is Mrs. Winters or something like that.
Yo, in the Carolinas, it's called Mrs. Winters Chicken, but it's the same. The Po Folks and Mrs. Winters taste the same. They have a Mrs. Winters in St. Petersburg, Florida.
All right, guys. So map it out. Next time we doing a show in the West, James. Yeah, like we're gonna have to leave now.
Got you.
I always thought like if I was gonna open a fast food restaurant, like, because keeping it simple is a big deal. Fast food. Because you ever go into a fast food restaurant chain you don't know about, and then you look at the menu and you're like, you cannot be good at all of this. That's how I feel when I go to Jack in the Box. I'm walking to Jack in the Box and I'm like, I don't think you got everything.
Long John Silver's, I feel.
Yeah, your sesame chicken's not gonna be fire next to your Gouda slider, you know?
Yeah. The London broil here is not gonna be.
A&W Root Beer does that stuff.
I went to a fast food restaurant recently and I did not like it, and I don't know the legal rules, so I'm gonna say I didn't like it. I'm not gonna say why. I just didn't like
your opinion as long as you're not saying they had a rat in the floor.
They didn't do nothing wrong. They didn't do nothing wrong. They just didn't. I went to Guy Fieri's Chicken Guy restaurant, and bro, first of all, what's this new craze with everybody thinking chicken fingers is like a gourmet thing?
It's like not.
It's
they can charge an extra $8 for it. That's why,
bro. That's what cough. Let me tell you, Jeff. I was shocked that, and I'm giving you guys a price range, but I believe it was $13 for 5 chicken fingers, fries, and a drink.
What?
Yeah, and here's the deal.
Sucker
This
born
is
every day.
Yeah, this is where I didn't really dig it. The chicken fingers to me were those plank fingers that have a conformed shape, and that's not your chicken fingers need to look all weird, like
Yeah.
like they've got cancerous chicken finger like molds on the side of friedness. And yo, all of them had that shape.
What kills or breaks for me, or makes or breaks a chicken finger is the right batter. You gotta have a good batter, dude.
I don't want my chicken fingers organized.
I give credit, like I make fun of Publix on stuff all the time, but at least those chicken fingers all look different. They're a lot of white meat, consistent. I'm a big fan of like the Long John Silver's chicken planks, where it's got that like beer battered, like fish and chip style.
That. I like that one. I do like the chicken planks. Yes.
But what do you think, guys? Besides, because I'm fine. I went to this chicken restaurant, very expensive chicken, fast food. I didn't think it was that good. What do you think that are like trends that? I feel like there's trends they try to take advantage of us on. Like chicken fingers was one. The chicken sandwich was one for a while. Cajun, Jeff. Yeah.
Avocado was that.
Avocado. Oh, yes.
They were putting avocado on everything at every restaurant. Every chicken sandwich came with it. When we worked in restaurants, they started putting it on club sandwiches.
Yeah.
They started putting
avocado toast is a scam. They're like, hey, $10 for breakfast. Do you want a piece of toast with avocado on it? No, for $2, I want some toast with some goddamn butter and jelly. Like a man who has sleep apnea.
Bro, everybody had it. Subway had it.
I forgot one while I'm at it. I forgot
it. What's up, Jeff?
I feel upset about it. Arthur Treacher's.
Arthur Treacher's? Was that a restaurant?
I forgot about that seafood restaurant named Arthur Treacher's. They had fried shrimp, and they were big, and you would just be happy as hell. And I know the same thing. What's going to happen is Ken's going to go, you old, because he's going to pull the date. Arthur Treacher's closed, and go make me feel all old, and then I'm going to have to get a job at T-Mobile.
Jeff. Ken's so old. He's talking about cellular.
Started in 1969. They have one left.
Arthur Treacher's?
One left.
Arthur Treacher's like, hold the line! Hold!
So, Jeff, you want to go? Is in Jacksonville, Florida. They got one left.
Gotcha.
Well, when we do a show there, we'll go grab some Arthur.
Did you guys speaking of like restaurants that closed down, did you guys ever eat at Steak and Ale back in the day?
Yeah, I love Steak and Ale.
I remember Big Boy talking about it. I never been there,
bro.
It was a little expensive. It could get expensive there. It wasn't that cheap.
It did. But I loved how the inside looked like a medieval like tavern.
Yeah.
Like Chicago. It was like you took Chicago and like what are those things called? Those Renaissance festivals and put them together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I missed that, man. Steak and Ale.
So Jeff, they took a lot of the Arthur Treachers and changed them into Nathan's hot dog places.
And the worst part about Nathan's is they're not Nathan's hot dogs. They're like regular hot dogs. So if you go get the Nathan's hot dogs, it's these thin things that taste really good, but that doesn't exist. They give you like, they just went to Publix and got themselves some
Publix brand.
Don't even try to. Yeah. You go there, you see those regular hot dogs, and they're supposedly, but they're not
Nathan's, but they're not. Yeah, I only get a Nathan's hot dog when I'm at the airport.
Yo, they only exist in weird spots. Yeah. It's like, this OBGYN has a Nathan's hot dog and a Kenny Rogers roaster in it. Yo, I'm taking my girl there every month. Look at another checkup. Look at another checkup,
Oh, bro. Hey, man.
And then what's going to happen? It's going to be an
OBGYN. We got to go to commercial, dog. You wildin', bro.
We'll be back with more Real Laughs.
OBGYN.
That same OBGYN is going to have a bonkers room in it. We'll be back. Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I am your host for the evening, Miguel Colon Jr., joined in virtual studio with my comrades, Mr. James Yawn, Jeff Kaufman, and Ken Miller. And if you didn't hear us earlier, we were talking about fast food restaurants that had closed and we wish were still around. And we were also talking about the great white meat hype, which is the chicken finger, which everyone is claiming like it's some gourmet item. And I feel like it's almost cultural appropriation. And I say this for being Southern. Like, I've been in the South now for like 20-something years. I believe Southern culture is been instilled in me somewhat. And when I hear people talking about this restaurant has the best chicken fingers, coleslaw, biscuits, and iced tea, I'm like, that restaurant needs to be called Monique's. It needs to be in a neighborhood that's very, very high on crime.
Do you think a single black person would take credit for the chicken nugget?
Not about chicken finger, dog. Chicken finger.
Well, that's what I mean. But that was McDonald's, man.
We're not talking about the nugget. The finger and the nugget are two different things, bro.
Not really. I think the nugget was
the nugget is processed. Yeah. The nugget is. Here's what the nugget is. The nugget is crack and the finger's cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. That's
Yeah.
a good analogy.
That's a good.
That's a good
Okay, the
analogy,
finger
yo.
comes out raw, ready to press, ready to go. The nugget, you gotta sit there in the kitchen with some Pyrex and some Scarface playing,
That's funny.
and you know. But the nugget is processed garbage.
Yeah,
It's still
process,
good.
bro. Yeah, the
But
nugget,
the
like,
finger,
yeah,
you
I
peel
agree
it
with you,
apart.
bro.
Yeah.
It's crack, bro. You gotta have the cocaine, water, baking soda, and when you boil the water, it's on medium. All right, you don't want it to be high. When you put the cocaine in, it starts to bubble and get thick. That's when you put the extra product in. Then it's gonna turn into like a little thing of soap, and then you kind of
Ken, let me explain to you. This is 2022. No, let me explain.
my bad.
You put it all in the air fryer. and you set it to drumstick. Yeah, you put it in the Instapot.
Like Bill Nye over here. I was like,
You got a
what is
whole
he doing?
company waiting for you when you get out. All
right?
right? It's 2022, dope boys. If you're not making your crack in the air fryer, why are you even pretending
Bro,
you're about this?
hey,
crack?
That is
hey,
the funniest thing I've heard
Hey.
in so long.
Hey, hey, Miguel got that what you got the air fryer. I got
Air fryer.
Instapot crack, baby. My crack way juicier.
Let me tell you about my crack. The outside of my crack is really crunchy, but the inside, oh my god, it's so soft. And I'm gonna tell you the real secret: avocado oil and aminos. Because my crack is gluten free and it's keto friendly.
Hey man, hey, my crack can be used during the Mediterranean diet. It got the
Yeah.
olive oils and everything in it.
Your
bro.
crack
I'm
has
just saying.
baking soda.
Call him
My crack has xanthan gum. Okay. All right. So yeah, my crack. You got to get the ingredients from my crack at a Trader Joe's. You know, like you got to mix it all. And then every time people hit my crack, they're like, "Yo, no doubt, is that coconut?" I'm like, "It's a little."
Yeah, son.
Miguel's cocaine
Hey.
is fair trade. Like
Yeah.
Juan Valdez, 100%.
Hey, Miguel, yo, the question for the last segment I want to throw in, you were talking about like what people are doing the food. I think everybody's doing the Nashville hot, the chicken wings.
Yeah, and
The
the
chicken
Nashville hot's not even one of my favorite of all heat.
It's not even
No.
in my top.
The Nashville
Treat
hot
the
you pay
eater.
for later, though. You pay for
Yeah.
later. I don't know what they put in there. Is that jalapeno that
I
burns
like-
you later?
I like hot, but I like hot with flavor. It's just hot.
It's,
Nashville
and the
hot.
thing is,
It's
the
just
flavor
hot.
to like in Nashville, I've had some Nashville hot. Man, the flavor's really good, but it's not my flavor that I want. I
Not
dig
mine.
more of that vinegary buffalo ting
Me too.
with that little cut to
Me
it.
too.
Nashville
What
hot's
puts
cool.
it?
And
What
then-
puts the heat in that? Does anybody know what puts the heat
what
in
is
there?
it? Is it
It's just
is it
Tabasco,
cayenne?
isn't it?
Come on, Ken.
Let me look
In
right
2
now.
seconds, he'll be like,
Yeah,
you know,
Ken
just old.
Ken's the guy in the chair, like solving all the mysteries and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the
Hey,
girl
Jim
from
called me the Google guy. I'm the Google guy.
the Google guy.
We need the
Nashville hot,
ingredients.
I thought was basically just like a Tabasco.
It
base.
must be jalapeno because I pay for it later every time, man. And I love
chili.
it.
It's
I love
it's
it.
chili powder.
That's it, chili powder.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So
'cause
this
I
is
never ever
Nashville
found the
hot
chili powder.
seasoning made out of and paprika because it's got that paprika and cayenne.
Kanye
It has a
pepper.
smoky-
Kanye pepper?
Kanye pepper. Is that
Kanye
I'm not-
yo.
I'm not
It's
burning
the
you
Kanye pepper
like I
and
thought
other
I
spices and brown
should.
sugar, yo. Kanye pepper, bro.
When you put me later, it's not feeling good.
Oh, I made a
got
mistake.
Your
I made it.
butt locked down.
Oh,
Your butt locked
It's
down.
cayenne pepper. Yeah.
That
Like
Kanye
I had
pepper, baby.
to do a retraction in the Orlando Weekly this week because I
Uh-oh.
confused scabies and crabs together.
Oh, whoa, what?
Scabies and
Oh,
crabs?
And the doctor said, and a nurse called my office, livid,
Don't worry about it.
that I would give off this false
dog.
medical
What's
information.
the story that you had to do something on?
He was on a phone call with a girl. Hey,
Okay.
real quick.
I had a question. I had a question from a girl who her roommate brought this guy home and he gave everybody crabies, you know, the crabs, and you know, infested her whole apartment. And she wanted to know if she could sue. So, you know, of course, I got to throw in there crabies and crabs are known as the same thing. And no, scabies and crabs are two different forms of mite that attack your pubic area. And she wanted me to make sure I made that clear to people because I even though you know,
Don't matter.
she might have
Hey,
had
listen,
both.
Jeff, I confused chicken pox and herpes, and I still think it's chicken pox. It
Yeah.
just comes back.
Yeah.
Got that reoccurring spring break chicken pox. You know?
Yeah. So I had to do a retraction today.
I thought you got chicken pox from getting punched in the throat. No lie. I had a cousin.
Why would you? Why
No
would
lie,
that
bro.
be?
When we was kids, my
Wait a
cousin got
minute.
punched in the throat. Next day, dude had chicken pox. 100% thought. Till I
Punch
was
in the
like
throat.
12. Yeah, he was. We were fighting, and he fighting in the hood, and this dude punched my cousin right in the Adam's apple. And the next day, he had chicken pox. And so until I was like 12, bro, I was like, "Yo, son, don't hit my throat." If I get chicken pox, I gotta miss school, son. I'm gonna be real mad, bro.
Man, you know it's just science. You get hit in the throat, you get chicken pox.
Son, that's how it is.
It's in the
yo.
book
Greensboro,
somewhere.
North Carolina. That's
Hey,
where they get that
man, that's
medical
how it is, yo.
diagnosis.
I
Hey, what
also
was-
put Kanye pepper in my crack that I cooked with
Ooh.
out of y'all down. son.
I make
That-
Nashville hot crack. My Nashville hot crack definitely got
my
a little
crack
honey
got
to it.
lemon pepper on it, black people.
In fact, after you buy my crack, you can pick 2 sauces.
hey James, my crack all flats with ranch.
Woo!
You get all flats
Baby.
ranch with my
All
crack,
flats?
son. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
my
My crack go outsell your crack, bro.
because here's the thing with my crack. Here's what you'll know about my crack. There's 3 ways you pick how you want my crack. Southern classic, which comes with coleslaw, some pickles on it, and a mopping piece of bread. New York style, which is on a Kaiser roll with just a little mustard. Or Hawaiian style, which comes with white rice and a macaroni salad and a slice of pineapple. So you come to Miguel Colon's
I like
International
that.
Crack Truck,
Mm.
and I got you. And then plus, if you look at the bottom of my crack bags, there's this little purple sticker. It says GF is letting you know gluten free, baby.
Man,
There you
whatever,
go.
bro. My crack, I got crack and waffles.
Oh.
I got crack and waffles, baby. Come on, you guys
Damn.
that crack and waffles.
Man, I'm
son.
tempted to head over to the Waffle House now.
Oh.
See, there we
I
go,
know.
baby. Crack and
I
waffles,
know.
bro. And the people selling my crack at Crack and Waffles, no teeth, none.
Ooh.
way-
Well, that's
way
a
waffles
given. I want
supposed
people
to
to
be
Well,
look
that's
at
how you
good
know
crack.
it's good. That's how you know it's good.
So I've got a Coca-Cola freestyle machine outside of my crack.
Oh,
so
son.
already done. You want a
You
high
know
C? What flavor? You didn't know there were
what,
7
Miguel,
flavors of high C.
You win. I'm buying your crack. You got.
Hey,
me-
have you guys
got me
ever
the
been to a
freestyle
place that has one of those
machine, bro.
bootleg Pepsi freestyle machines? It's like a Pepsi
Yes, I
machine
have.
with buttons everywhere. It looks like the
Yes.
DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you want a cherry diet? Hold this." It's like a steampunk machine. They're like, "Hold this, pump your foot with this, turn this valve, and you're about to have some cherry diet Pepsi." It's like steam's coming out.
Yo,
Oh, my
I had a
God.
good. I've never seen a Pepsi freestyle.
It's not the
have.
same. It's just bootleg. It's buttons everywhere.
I see. There's one I go to. There's a sandwich shop that I go to by my job, and they have it.
That's like the Mortal Kombat 4 machine.
It's called
I
the
couldn't do
Pepsi
anything.
Spire.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, Pepsi Spire. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, the Spire. That's
yeah,
stupid.
that's SPIRE. Pepsi Spire.
Coca-Cola
It's not the
freestyle
same.
machine. Yeah, you can make
Game
soup in that.
changer.
You want chicken noodle Coke? Here's a secret option.
You can
Coca-Cola
actually.
freestyle machine.
can actually-
You know,
that's
if
how-
you,
That's how Ken actually makes his crack, and that's one of those
Yeah.
freestyle
And
machines.
yeah.
it's like the Last Starfighter.
No, it's
I-
white. It's white. It's like a dope looking machine.
It
though.
looks
The
cooler than
Spire
freestyle
looks,
machine,
It looks cool,
But it ain't where it's at. But the Coca-Cola freestyle machine, if you hit all the combinations right, it's like Last Starfighter. And next thing you know, a dude comes out and he's like, "You are the chosen one."
Yeah.
I'm like, I just hit Diet Coke mixed with Cherry Coke mixed in with High C and Sprite. They're like, "No,
Yeah, but the
you mixed
Pepsi
the
one is
portal
tiny.
combination."
The Pepsi
Yeah.
one is little. Like it's not a big machine like
It's
like
not.
the Coke one. It's like it looks like a what's Apple's computer? It looks like a MacBook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's white. Yeah.
So
like where the
before-
soda coming from? Right now, I don't
Before the
trust
Pepsi machine got it right and made their own like that, they retrofitted all the Pepsi what are they called? Fountain machines, and they added a box next to it with an extension of flavors you could add, and it was so hood because it was just a regular machine, and then this box drilled in, and they're like, "Look, you can make combos just like the Coca-Cola
Did you imagine
freestyle
the
machine."
GED scientists working that one out at the
Yeah,
drive-thru?
yeah.
Wow.
I'd like a high C something. Else. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, I see, huh? I can do your Tang. You want a Tang and Sierra Mist? Like the Pepsi one had to buy all the whack flavors. They couldn't get any more. They're like, "Oh, you wanted some cherry Coke? How about
Did
black
anybody
cherry
fall for that?
marmalade?"
By the way,
What's
did
up?
anybody fall for Sierra Mist? Did
No.
Yeah, I did.
My
Well,
kids
my kid
did
drinks
because
7 Up, so they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
They get the Sprite, 7 Up, or Sierra Mist.
Sierra
I like
Mist
7-Up.
is
Sierra Mist is
usually
weak.
I think it's Popeyes that still has Pepsi products. If my kids go to Popeyes, they like
Yeah.
Sprite, so they get Sierra Mist. It's
I
Yeah, they
always
don't have a
wonder
choice.
how somebody got the Pepsi contract instead of the Coke contract. Like,
You know why?
What-
Money.
Yeah.
Pepsi's
Just-
cheaper.
Hey Miguel,
Oh, yeah.
Hey Miguel, I'm gonna tell you a secret, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of them bars downtown Orlando, Pepsi products, bro.
oh yeah,
Mm.
they don't show you. They don't show you the gun.
Yeah, they'll show you a lot of
I do it outlaw style. I'm like, I have them spray it, then I whip out a kit and I test it up. I'm like, "Yo, this ain't Coca-Cola."
Oh, you got the little test kit like
Yeah.
drug dealer cops.
Turns blue. We're good to go. I got gloves on.
Yeah, man.
I tell you,
If I go somewhere with Pepsi products, I get a tea.
Yeah, I don't mind a
Listen,
Pepsi,
I'm not that uppity. I learned better.
I'm uppity, bro.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I went to Fogo de Chao with old Devin Siebel while we were out in Chicago, and it's one of them places that, you know, when you order a soda, they bring you like the ice cold can. There is nothing like the ice cold can of like a Coke. It came out like it was on a baseball game with the ice still chipped on top of it, and they're bringing me like sliced sirloin and ribeye. Can of soda forever, man. For me, can of soda is the epitome of soda flavor. It's just something about that aluminum just bakes in the flavor. My
classic Coke bottle, classic little Coke bottle, man.
Unlike Pepsi, Coke bites. It's harsh a little bit. Yeah.
And McDonald's Sprite bites the hardest.
Oh,
like
yeah,
after you have McDonald's Sprite, you can't feel your face.
Man, my family disowned me because Carolina is, Pepsi started it in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
And that's all I drank as a kid. Then I moved West Coast, and West Coast, they didn't do Pepsi in Arizona. Everywhere you went was Coke products.
Yeah.
So I started drinking Coca-Cola. And then I come home and they like, Ken, you bring the sodas, and I show up with these Coca-Colas. And they're like, who boy, you don't take your ass to the store and get some Cheerwine and Pepsi?
Your grandmama just fainted.
Cheerwine is the bomb. Cheerwine's the stuff, though. Cheerwine. Yeah.
McDonald's Sprite, you could pour it on your iPhone. It'll charge it. You just you take the cord, drop it straight in there, and it's like bing, ding, ding.
Yeah. Bugging today, bro. Hey, man, you bugging today.
That's so funny, man.
Oh, man,
I believe it.
It's the food episode. I always hate. I'm so self-conscious about being fat and talking about food, and I literally have now done 30 minutes of y'all ever go to this fast food restaurant?
But let's think about it. That's our culture in America, man. When something new drops at a fast food restaurant, we talk about it, bro.
Yeah, even if
chicken sandwich dropped, bro.
Oh, the Popeyes.
Who actually likes the McRib? Does anybody?
I'll eat it, but you're right.
They keep telling us it's back, but it's terrible. It's like a terrible burger.
People love it though.
No, I'm hating on the McRib. You can tell everyone Jeff's hating on the McRib because he was married for 24 years.
I'm with you. I'm with you with that.
McRib, yeah. I heard somebody make it said though, if you ever on death row and you're looking for and they ask you for your last meal, ask for a McRib and a Shamrock shake because they never come out at the same time. You're gonna stall. You're gonna have months.
That's funny, man. Yeah, I don't understand the McRib fascination because I just think it's nasty. Like as a kid, I think I ate it, but when I got to a certain age, I'm like, I can do better. Like I think it's disgusting, bro.
I mean, do you ever notice food that you had as a kid and you get in as an adult and you're going, did this get bad?
McDonald's, man. All of McDonald's. I don't mean anything. I don't mean anything negative
100%.
Towards them. It's just it's not the vibe it was. It's not the Eddie Murphy sketch on McDonald's that it was when we were growing up. It's not. You know, I think it was
Ranch Doritos. Ranch Doritos for me when I was a kid. That stuff was the best. And now I have one. I'm going,
yeah. I think a lot of it plays to the fact that we all came up with parents that were like, we got food at the house. So outside food seemed cooler. Yeah, you know,
we eat outside food all the time.
And I'm happy to have some home cooked. Hey guys, we gotta go to commercial break. When I come back, I swear we'll talk about something other than food and Hitler. You're listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1.
He's lying.
Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I'm your host, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr. Joined in studio with Ken Miller, James Young, and Jeff Kaufman. Real quick, too, I want to bring up February 20th. Me and Jeff Kaufman have a show at the Orlando Improv. Ken Miller going to be there. Do a hot 3, spit that fire. It's going to be at the Orlando Improv, Sunday, February 20th. It's me, Jeff Kaufman, Morgan Gallo, Sean Madden, Marcus Crespo, and Dwayne Williams. It's going to be a fire show, man. Yeah, who pooted was I couldn't book him. His rider required too much Cheerwine.
You did get Crunchy Black, which I'm looking forward to.
Ooh. Hey, if you in your career, real quick, guys, because we're talking about improv shows. We got good shows coming up. We were talking yesterday with Mr. Polar Bear Gonzalez about how he stepped it up. He's starting to do like all these comedy clubs. He's doing these matinee shows now, which is a smart move for him because he's getting into all these big clubs, staying in these big clubs, picking a weekend. It's just not like a prime hour. But to be fair, I think this city, Orlando, is a city, since we have theme parks and everything, people are used to doing stuff early here too.
Well, he went full puppets, so that's okay. He went full puppets, so that's why he's doing matinees now.
Cool puppet shows.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Jeff. I'm gonna tell you. Until you've opened for a puppet, you're not really even in the comedy game.
Amen.
Okay? Until you've been like, what's the booking, Krista?
A
There's this
puppet,
puppet.
on what's the dudes that hypnotize you?
Oh, the hypnotist.
A hypnotist comic, a ventriloquist, all that. If you ain't open
A
for them
mentalist.
jokes yet, oh yeah, bro.
If you haven't opened
Woo,
for a
Lord.
star that's from a TV show that you thought would never do comedy, and then you find out they're not
Right.
going to, they're just going to tell you stories about movies they were on, and you bring all the heat because you're like, oh my God, this dude, I've seen this dude on TV. I definitely want to show him that I got heat. And you bring all the heat on the opening, and you're like fired. He's like, hey, great set.
I've opened for Mark Price, JJ, and Screech.
Yep.
Me too.
Like, all I know is
too.
I was hosting a VW live, and they were filming me, and they brought these two puppets, and these two people had puppets, and they're like, their heads are like at my waist, and they got these two freaky puppets, and they're doing a routine. Man, it's just freaky. It's a little sketchy.
You're opening for like a Punch and Judy show.
Yeah, it was
you
weird.
know?
Man.
I'll tell you this, man. I look back on some of the things I've done in my career, and I'm happy now because I'm in the game long enough to know what success really is. Success is about being financially successful in comedy and knowing the avenues to do bigger and better shows. But in the beginning, I was terrified at some of the gigs I was accepting because I was like, how is any of this going to lead to being successful as a comic? And they're like, no. Listen, this crab boil, there are going to be some big people there. You know, like, there are going to be some real movers and shakers in the industry. I'm like, in the comedy industry or the crab boil industry? They're like, right.
Correct.
What?
You're gonna be
What's
working
the
crab
biggest-
boils all over the East Coast.
What's the biggest okie doke you guys have been sold in comedy? Let me tell you one of mine. I got hit with one of those. This is a show where there's going to be tons of bookers from all around the country.
Yep. We
And
were
I
both
was
at
like,
that
oh,
show.
yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wow. And you come there, and I'm like, who's this dude? They're like, oh, he owns Leon's Wings down the road. Very, very prestigious wing joint. He's looking for somebody to host his open mic. You really want to impress him. And I'm like, who's she? They're like, I don't know, but she was sitting there when we got here, and we don't want to tell her to move. Anyway, it's $50 to be in this competition.
Yeah.
And the
$50,
winner, and the winner is going to get an opening spot at Del Mondo's Taco Truck, which once they get the boot off of it and get it from inbound, it's going to be jumping. You know, they always sell you these stories. And in the beginning of comedy, it sounds real. You're like, oh, a bunch of bookers. This guy, you know, I've heard his name everywhere. He's definitely a good guy to work with. And you get down there, and it is a crap scam. Have you guys? And you guys have. What was one of your like eye-opening crap scams that you were like, oh, okay. So
I'll
this
go
is
next,
messed
Ken,
up.
if you don't mind.
Go on, do
Mine
your
was,
thing, Jay.
Mine was one when I first met Miguel. One of the first times I actually saw him. There was a guy.
Oh, we did that show together.
Yes, we sure did. There was a guy that used to work on a very popular comedy showcase on a premium cable network, and it was defunct for a reason with this gentleman. And he was not doing as well as he once had. So what he basically was doing was using his name off that show, and he was going around doing money-making schemes with comics, where he was like, oh man, I'm getting ready to do another comedy show on another cable network, and I'm scouting. All you guys have to do is get people to come out to this place and pack it out with like 200 people, have them all pay to come see you guys audition, and I'm going to start using some of you guys for these big shows I'm doing. Of course, the guy shows up 3 hours late. Of course,
3 hours late, Ken. We didn't go on stage till midnight.
it was
Was it a
ridiculous.
crowd?
Yeah, because we all brought people though.
we all
But
brought
we
people.
brought
It
our
was just-
friends.
Wow.
It wasn't that at all. All it was a money-making scheme for him
Yeah.
to actually come to each town, use his name off of the show he used to be
And there was a
on.
drag show going on next to us in the main like dance room,
Yeah.
and it was lit.
Yeah, it
And
was
then
in
we're
there.
like the 35 people comedy show, and then everybody's like, they open the door, like the waiters would come out, and you'd hear the drag show, and there's like 300 people in the crowd, like, ah! And then we've got 35 people at this comedy show in the back room. One
And
waiter
they're-
coming in, like, and then the waiter wouldn't even go to everybody. He would open the door, look at the room, be like, y'all good?
That's
Like,
it.
and then go back inside.
Bro, and nobody, he was not doing anything. And then he just, it was just all a money-making scheme. And it was all the okey doke. But I remember there was one main contact for all of Orlando comics, and this guy, I won't even say his name, but yeah, it's who you think it is. We'll just leave it at that. Don't say
Hey, man, James, I'm listening to you, Jeff. Spoiler alert! And I just saw the touchdown, Jeff. It happened. Buffalo just won.
Yeah,
Wow.
everybody saw that yesterday or 2 days ago because this is recorded.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, James? For me, it was a comedy festival. I won't say what the festival was.
Okay.
I took $1,000 out of my 401k to go do this festival because the guy was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be like 50 bookers, and the winner gets booked at every club, and then and if you're good, you can get booked." And so I go out there, and I'm out there. It's me, Pedro, Arnie Ellis, Hurley and Hurley He and Valone were doing comedy out there. So it was a bunch of Orlando guys. So I take $1,000 out my 401k, man. I'm new to comedy. Man, we get there, and it's one of them competitions where if you finish in 8th place one year, the next year you're going to finish in 5th. And then the next year, like, you move up as you go. Because the guy that won it,
that's a pyramid scheme kind of
I
nonsense.
eat this dude alive. So
but
we get
they charge everybody what he's mentioning to you guys. You have to pay to play.
Yeah, so
no, that should never be. They used to do that with bands and music people. That was a big scam in the music industry.
Pay, and I mean, and it's nationwide, so they're making crazy money. So we go to the part where you meet the bookers, and it's like 5 people in there. One person owned a good club, which was Zany, so Zany's was legit. One lady didn't even own a club. Like she was trying to develop an app to let comedians know where clubs was at, which was cool, and she was charging like 99 cents for the app. One guy that was sitting there, his club had burnt down, so he was waiting to build another club.
I just need a place to stay if one of you guys want to let me come by.
Another club, Miguel, they were in Colorado, and they was like, "Look, man, I like you're funny, but we pay $75 to feature, and I know you're not home." But we were sitting there like, where are these 50 clubs?
Yeah, it was a scam
that you were talking about, and it was a big time scam. So later on, like a few years went by, and somebody posted in Orlando group like, "Hey, somebody tell me about this festival?" And I was 100% honest. I said, "Look, this is what happened to me at this festival." And one of the guys that run it was like, "Hey, well, we're not like that anymore. We're better
anymore." You kept the name.
Listen, we did a little time in prison, and we realized.
Yeah, but the fact that
we've learned our lesson.
Not like that anymore.
Yeah.
It goes to show that you
were like that.
We took a class,
Yeah, we found out, man. No, it means it.
Yeah, when the host or the guy that runs it says, "Yeah, man, we got 100 comedians that come out here to vie for work because comedians are stupid." Like that's how he will open every show.
Yep,
we are.
That's how you open every show, and we're done. We I took $1,000 out of my savings.
Listen, desperate is not dumb. Desperate is, you're doing your best, man. You just want it to happen.
You don't know what other avenue. Because
here's another thing.
There's
not a lot of resources for information when you're in comedy, unless you know comics. And in the beginning, it's hard to know who you should really listen to. Because that's why open mic kids will come to shows and they'll talk to the people who aren't working, and those people will become their friends because those people just want to talk. And now this kid who's new to comedy thinks this other dude he's listening to, who's only been comedy for 3 months, is a good voice to listen to. And then there's just some old dude like Ken or me and James just trying to eat some lemon pepper wings in the corner, and we're like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." They're like, "I don't even know you. I haven't even seen you at an open mic." No,
Ken said
you haven't.
Ken said it. Look, I went to the improv the other night. I was watching one of our friends perform, and in the main stage was the main show, but outside here was open mic. So I always like to go see the open mic people, and I always like to introduce myself.
It's a vibe when it's good too, man.
Yeah. So I go out there, I'm introducing myself. There's a lot of younger people there, so it was good to meet them. There is a couple of people with this mindset of, I don't care who you are, I don't care how much success you may have, I am not going to give you satisfaction of even acknowledging your existence or listening to you. Ken pointed out a comedian that he told me he was talking to, and this girl did the and yawned
at me, bro.
Why you were talking to her?
Yeah, on purpose. Just
that's
I'm like,
great.
Red hair.
We're not gonna even deserve our time, man.
But it was just funny to see that attitude come from her when Ken was not doing anything wrong to her, never said anything bad, but that's the attitude she takes because
trying to teach her how I was taught, and to this day she's still one of the worst comedians on the scene.
Yeah.
I had a young comic just tell me a while ago. He's like, man, I don't even. He's like, I appreciate it because I was telling him, yo, I know some people that would definitely give you some work. If you want a little paid work, some host spots. So I was like, can I? I was like, can I give you some people's contact info? And dude told me straight up, he's like, after I'd performed as the headliner at this place, the dude told me straight up, he's like, man, I haven't even seen you at any mics or anything. He's like, do you even do comedy around here? And I was like, oh, I don't do the BS you do. I do that real stuff. And then he was and then he was like, oh, okay. And he like laughed. He was like, well, can you give me those contacts? And I was like, nah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good.
I'm
bro.
good,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
I'm good. Do you know how many
It's
cats
some out there that do listen? I'm not, it's some out there like, when we were at the open mic, we're watching open mic, and a few cats I pulled to the side, and I was like, hey, a lot of them were doing a lot of jokes that were like against homosexuals, and I was just like,
a lot of people do that nonsense
I'm like,
now. That
why?
happens.
Yeah, I don't get where that's coming from.
Yeah, that's the thing. I said, you're not gay. The person you're talking about isn't gay. So what makes you think this is like a cool thing to do?
Yeah.
But they just feel like it's funny to them, and it's not. It's
they're terrible
so
jokes. It's a waste of time.
So disrespectful.
Like you had your Christmas party, and I remember there was a group in front of me. There were a couple lesbians in front of me at your show, at the Christmas party.
Yeah,
and
those
about three straight
are good friends of us. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, 3 straight comedians got up making gay jokes, and I was thinking to myself, I said, "Do you not realize you're not in the '80s anymore?
Yeah.
Can you not write a joke that doesn't attack, a gay guy?"
This is the strangest thing, and I don't know. So somebody said, I don't know, might it be you, James, but somebody said, well, because Chappelle is doing it, maybe all these other comedians is like, well, if Chappelle can do it, I can do it. But Chappelle does it in a funny way.
Yes, and that's what we
like. Yours is just bad comedy.
Also, man, this is
it's mean. They do it in mean ways.
This is mean.
About like that girl yawning at you while you were talking to her. I don't think some of these guys get. Do you know that like we're all still listening to people too? I'm listening to younger dudes. I'm listening to Jake Rika about what I should do with YouTube and stuff. Anytime I see somebody doing something better than I'm doing it, and I know they're willing to give me honest information about what I should do, and I don't mean better talent. What they got to understand is when I say better, I mean more successfully doing what I want to do. So when I, like these cats might be younger and funnier than me, because I see cats all the time that I'm like, dog, I was not that funny when I was that young. This chick's gonna be a beast. Or this dude's gonna be a beast. But I got some insight on some things. Like if you want to come to me and ask me, hey, how do you book in the Southeast? How do you do this? How do these? I got that info for you. And I might come to you like, hey, yo, you're killing it on TikTok. How are you doing this? But what I think some of these people don't get is in this business, you are constantly looking at other people and becoming friends with them and reaching out to them and asking them how. How did you do this? I came straight up to James, man, and and I said, how do you book comedy clubs? And James said, oh, here's how.
Yeah.
And that's key.
But you know the difference. You know the difference is all of us are willing to learn.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jeff,
we're the generation we're willing to learn.
You are, out of all of us, man, business-wise, you are the most successful. You have done so many avenues of stuff, and you have no problem being like, hey, man,
no.
I'll host for you. How do I do this? How do I do this?
Yeah.
You're just scared to do open mics because you soft. But other than that,
no, I don't like. That's the one thing. I mean, open mic to me is the same thing, and it's been this way. The negativity from people there. I mean, you sit there and just watching people's attitudes all day long. It'll grind you down. And,
wait, I actually just realized that we hit our time, so we've got to end today. But I will say this: you don't have to go to an open mic to see Jeff Kaufman, because you will see him February 20th with me, Morgan Gallo, Marcus Crespo, Sean Madden, and Dwayne Williams all at the Orlando Improv. Ken, you gonna be anywhere?
Nah, I'm chilling this weekend. Junior turned 22, so I'll be hanging out with my baby this weekend.
That's what's up. James Young, you gonna be anywhere?
I'm not, but I want to remind everybody, please follow Mr. Kaufman and Lynn. You're excellent. That's right. These guys know they're your attorneys. When you need them, go to whenyounneedthem.us.com. I'm messing that up. Whenyounneedus.com. And remember, you can get in touch with them with #546 on your cell phone. It's that easy. #546.
We got more real laughs coming up the rest of this week. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Love you. Mean it.